Hey guys, welcome to another video. Today's video is going to be something I haven't done in a while. I'm a little bit rusty, but I am going to create 3 eye looks using the Sigma Ambiance palette. This is my first go at some Sigma eyeshadows. I've been wanting to try the Sigma eyeshadow formula. I've heard really good things about them. I love Sigma brushes. I almost got the Untamed palette, but when I saw the color story of this, I was like, oh honey. This is speaking to the neutral lover in me. So I got my hands on it. I've been using it for a while and I definitely have some thoughts. And I thought, you know what? Why don't I create 3 looks, show you how these eyeshadows work, and I will give you my thoughts at the end. I'm not doing like any swatches or anything like that because this palette has been out for a bit, so you can kind of see those elsewhere, but I did try to use a variety of the eyeshadow shades and create 3 different looks with them. I also will let you know the other makeup that I have on in the video because sometimes people ask me and I forget. But this is going to be a little bit of a longer one. I almost forgot to introduce myself. If you are new, hello, my name is Kelly. I love all things makeup and beauty. I love talking. I love makeup. I love talking about makeup. As you can see, I love talking about makeup. And if you like to chat about makeup too, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of the K-Bella fam. But why don't we go ahead and jump into the video. Okay, so we are going to go into a quad. So we're going to go into this quad right here for this first makeup look. I don't think these looks are going to be anything revolutionary. Today, I'm literally going to take my nephew and my daughter when she wakes up from her nap out to the Nike outlet. So we're not doing anything revolutionary, but I did want to dip in here and I did want to start with this quad right here, and then I'll probably do another look that's like a smoky eye, and who knows what we'll do. But we are going to do a couple of looks, and I am going to start with my favorite primer at the moment, which is by Fenty Beauty. It's just the Pro Filter Amplifying Eye Primer. I've said this before on my channel, but I struggle with eczema on my eyelids, and although I typically like a primer that is a little bit more thick and has a tint to it, like the Urban Decay Eden Eyeshadow Primer Potion or even the MAC Paint Pots, those tend to be a little bit too thick that they irritate my eyelid eczema. So something like this that's more thin, although it doesn't really give me any coverage, it has a nice tack to it and helps my eyeshadow stick. Then we are going to go in, this is not necessary, you don't have to do this, but I have hooded eyes and so I really like to set my primer. So I'm going to go in with this shade right here in Days, and I just use this little accent brush by Real Techniques. I got it in a set so long ago. It's pretty fluffy, and all I do is I stamp that into the crease, and then I'll take like whatever's left and bring it up to my brow bone. And the reason why I do this is because I have hooded eyes. Sometimes the eyeshadow can transfer, whatever I put on my lid can transfer if I haven't set it down yet. And then on top of that, I just find that my eyeshadow blends easier if I set down my primer. It's not necessary. I know plenty of people who don't prefer to do it this way. This is just my preference, so that's what we're gonna do. And then I like a matte brow bone anyway, so keep it nice and matte. Now I want a nice fluffy brush like this one, the BK201. And the reason why I want a really fluffy brush is because in the quad, this shade right here in Sunspot is very deep, so I'm going to use that in the outer corner. So I'm going to take Summer Solstice, which is a little bit more of a rosy tone, and I just need a light wash of color. So I'm just dipping into it very lightly, and I just want to create a nice little wash of color. If you're not as fair as I am, you may be able to go in with a deeper shade, but I really like having a transition shade. Like I said, these looks aren't going to be anything revolutionary. This is a very neutral palette. I'm a very neutral person. I don't really create like very artsy looks, so I'm not going to go in with like a ton of different shades. But you know, you can make it your own. You can use this as a baseline. Like I said, today I'm just taking my nephew. He's staying with us for 2 weeks for football camps. He's 16, so I'm gonna take him and my daughter Brielle to the Nike outlet after this, and I'm literally wearing a t-shirt. It's a CrossFit t-shirt from when I did CrossFit before I had my daughter, and some shorts, because here in Houston, it is hot. So I don't really need anything super fancy, but I felt like playing in makeup. You know, I'm a teacher, I have time off. Why not play in some makeup today? I also got to eat lunch with my daughter today. That might not seem like it's a big deal, and I mean, we eat lunch together all the time on the weekends, but you know, being a teacher, I'm not typically home during the work week, and so she's with my mom. My mom watches her, which is amazing. We're super lucky in that aspect. But it was still nice to just be home and be able to eat with her and make her her own lunch. We still had some leftovers from the weekend. I don't know when this is going up, but I'm filming this the week of Memorial Day. So we grilled out for Memorial Day weekend. My husband made some hamburgers and hot dogs, and we had some leftover cheddar hot dogs. So I heated us up a little cheddar hot dog, made some mac and cheese, some fresh fruit, and it was just nice to do something with my daughter during the week. But I'm so used to spending my weekends filming videos that when she goes down for a nap, I'm like, what do I do if I'm not filming? Yesterday, she took a 3-hour nap, and I didn't film because I had filmed the day before. So I literally like edited videos, uploaded, watched YouTube, did some laundry. I'm not used to having all of that time because typically I'm filming on the weekend and then like editing when she's sleeping. And I just have so much more time. It's amazing. Okay, so then I'm gonna go in with my BK207, which just has like a domed, it's really good for like packing on shadow. It has a good dome shape. And this time I am going to go into this deeper shade in the quad in Sunspot. And I'm just going to pack this in the outer corner and then I'll blend it out. It's always easier to add more. It's hard to take away. So I just start with a little bit and I'm gonna pack it on, and then I'm actually gonna blend it out with the brush that comes in the Sigma Ambiance palette. I really do like it. I've been using the fluffy side for my crease shades, but because the shade that I used in my crease was already so pigmented, I needed something that was a little bit fluffier. The brush that comes in the Sigma palette is fluffy enough to use in your crease, but I find that it wouldn't have worked for a shade that deep on me because I'm so fair. It definitely helps to create some good pigment. I don't have any product on this. I just want to diffuse it a little bit. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of go back and forth. I'm going to pack, diffuse, pack, diffuse, pack, diffuse. That'll get boring, so we're going to skip over that part. Okay, then we're going to do a little bit of lower lash line work. This is my Sigma pencil brush, and I'm going to dip into the same shade that I had in my crease in Summer Solstice. And we're just going to take that and blend it right underneath the lower lash line. And I thought about stamping a little bit of that deeper shade in Sunspot just into the outer corner, but I think I'm gonna skip that. However, if you were like going out, date night, something like that, and you wanted to deepen it up a little bit, you could definitely do that. Like I said, I'm just going out with some kids, so I don't need to look too fancy. I don't even know that I'm gonna put on real pants. Then with the flat part of the brush that comes in the palette, we are going to go into this shade Luster right here. And I am going to spritz my brush with Fix Plus because I always do. Now this is like a little packing brush. It's called the E54 Medium Sweeper. So the crease is the E38 Diffused Crease, and this is the E54 Medium Sweeper. So I'm gonna dip into Luster like that. Can you see? And spritz it a bit and press it onto my eye. This is a pretty shade. I have not used it yet, but look at that shine. I like to press. It helps not to get as much fallout. I don't set my face, so I don't really want a ton of fallout. And I feel like the Fix Plus helps to give me full pigmentation. So this is what we have so far, nice and light and airy. Now I've noticed that some of these shades, some of the shimmer shades, have a little bit more like chunky glitter flecks. The one that I used today, Luster, is much more of like a satin sheen finish, but then you have like Marigold and even Firefly, Candlelight. Those look like they have a little bit more of like chunky glitter. And then Sunflower, Midas, Luster, Burnish, those look like they have more of like a sheen and not as much the chunky glitter. So just to note for your personal preference. Okay, so here we have the finished look, the first like simple, easy, daytime appropriate look. So the other makeup that I have on my face, I am trying to use up some of my Project Pan stuff. So I really want to finish up this foundation. It is the Fenty Pro Filter Hydrating Longwear Foundation. For bronzer, I went in with two. So first I went in with the Charlotte Tilbury, the Sculpt Shade and, what is this, Film Star Bronze and Glow? What was I gonna say, Shade and Illuminate? Anyway, Film Star Bronze and Glow, I went in with that. Then I also have this Hourglass Ambient Lighting Bronzer in my Project Pan, so I went in with that over the top. I did also pull out my Pat McGrath blush. This is in the shade Nymphette. For highlight, it is my Natasha Denona Super Glow in the shade Fair, and I actually think I'm gonna take some of that and put it on the inner corner. I don't really have a shade that's like light enough, and I typically use my finger, but I do that before I go in with mascara. So I'm gonna take this little pencil brush and just put a little highlight right there. I really like the inner corner pop. I get a lot of compliments on it when I do my eyeshadow like that. So there we go, that's for a highlighter. On my lips, I do have Pillow Talk by Charlotte Tilbury in my Project Pan. I also topped it with this Melt Cosmetics lipstick, and I find this to be kind of drying and tug on my lips, so I did go in with a balm underneath, and that sheared it out, but it helped it to glide smoothly. And then I topped it off with Marc Jacobs lip gloss in Sugar Sugar. But why don't we go ahead and move on to the second look. Okay, so I feel like I look a bit crazy with no other makeup done but my eyebrows, but let's go ahead and get started. Look number two, I don't have my face done yet because I think we're gonna do something like smoky, like a brown smoky eye, and I think we're gonna use like these deeper browns over here and see if we can get a little smoke action going. So I am going to prime, same primer, I'll use the same primer each time. And I'm going to do the same thing I did last time where I put this primer on, and then I am going to take that fluffy brush and set it with this shade in Daze. Okay, so we're going to go on with the lid shade first, and we're going to go into Enric, which is this like the deepest shade in here. Well, Sunspot may be the deepest shade as well. They have like different undertones. Anyway, I'm going to go in with the medium eye shader brush, and I'm just going to pick up a little bit of that shade, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to build up this lid shade, and I do want to keep it underneath my crease. And so for the most part, I'm pressing, but I am going to kind of, as I get up closer to the crease, I'm going to move my brush side to side because I want it to be very pigmented since we're going for a bit of a smoke look. And I'm just going to pack it on until I get the pigmentation that I want. I do want to say I don't really think I'm getting any fallout, which is nice. I mean, we are one shade in, but I'm not getting any fallout. When I looked up close after the first look, I did have a little bit of fallout on my face, but I thought, since we're doing a smoky eye, let me go in with the face after. I don't like fallout. I don't really like the mess of fallout, so I figured let me do the smoky eye first, and then if we get any fallout, it's not that hard to clean up. But I'm really not getting any fallout, so that's nice. Then I'm gonna take the brush that comes in this palette, the E38 Diffused Crease, and I think I might go into Oasis. I thought I was gonna go into Basque, but Oasis looks a little bit deeper, so I think I'm gonna go into Oasis, and I haven't used this shade yet. Tap off a little bit, and I'm gonna keep this like pretty deep in the crease, and I just kind of want to blend it. Like I'm gonna use it to blend out this lid shade, so I still want to keep it pretty low, but I want to use it to help diffuse that harsh line because I don't want it to look like two different colors. I kind of want it to mesh into one. Okay, then we're gonna take Daylily, which is the lightest shade that I could use in my crease right here. And I'm gonna go in with my Sigma E40, which is a nice fluffy blending brush. And I'm just gonna take a light hand and use this to kind of just blend that middle crease shade into the top here. I'm not trying to be neat in this area, like it's a smoky look, so it's gonna be like kind of deep and messy, but just to kind of make, I have hooded eyes, so when I open them, you can't really see what's going on, so just to kind of make everything come together, and so that you can see it when I open my eyelid, I'm gonna kind of use that to help like blow everything out. I still feel like I kind of have like a harsh line there. So I am going to go in with the Sigma brush, but I'm going to go into the deepest shade that I have on my lid right here. Maybe I don't want to use that brush. Maybe I want to use my BK Beauty, the tapered one. I think it's the, where is it? 202? Is it the 202? Yeah, I think I'm going to use the 202 and just tap very lightly into that deep shade and see if that can help kind of marry that line. I really like a blended look, especially with a smoky eye, and I just feel like I have a harsh crease there, and I don't really like that. So I'm going to try and blend that out, and then I feel like it's a little bit patchy down here by the lash line, so I'm going to see if I can touch that up a bit as well. I definitely think taking that deeper shade and putting it in the crease is helping. It's helping it to look more of like a gradient effect. And I feel like this eye, I don't know if you can tell, is not as patchy as this eye. I have some patchiness on my lid. I don't quite know why, but this eye is looking pretty good. Okay, so I think I've gotten this as blended as I'm gonna get it right now. And I'm gonna take a break. I don't feel like I'm loving it at the moment, but also I have no other makeup on my face. So I'm gonna jump off, finish the rest of my face, and then come back and see if we can like tie up this eye look. Okay, so we're back. We have the face done. I'm feeling a little bit better about this eye look now that I have the rest of my face done, but I kind of feel like I'm having an off makeup day. But the last time that happened, I filmed my video, least used makeup products in my collection, and my husband doesn't typically comment on my makeup. He's just so used to me playing in makeup, and he honestly could care less. But the day that I did my least used makeup in my collection, I came out and he was like, wow, I really love your makeup. And I was like, you do? He was like, yeah. I was like, oh, thanks. I wasn't really enjoying it. So who knows? Maybe he'll be into this smoky look. But let's go ahead and finish this look off. I'm first going to take this lightest shade right here in Daylily and my Sigma pencil brush. This is the one that's like, it's like so fluffed out. Can you see that? It is so fluffed out. Like this is, I ordered another one. Can you guys tell the difference? I ordered another one and it's like so much more narrow, but I've had this for so long and I use it on my lower lash line that I feel like it's just gotten pushed around. It's been washed so many times, but I actually like it. This is what I use my pencil brush for anyway, is like building up the lower lash line, but I want it to be like fluffed out, you know, blended in. I try to cover up those fine lines I got down there. Okay, then going in with my BK Beauty 204, and I'm gonna go in with that deepest shade that was on the lid, this one right here, and I'm just gonna focus it or press it in this like outer part of my lower lash line. And I am pressing it, but I'm also like wiggling it back and forth because I don't want it to be like a harsh line. I want it to be blended, but I'm not trying to go past my pupil there. I want it to look very like nice and diffused, but I do want it to be kind of deeper out here. And then I'll probably go in with that pencil brush without any more pigment and just kind of blend it out a little bit more. And then because this palette doesn't have like a very light inner corner pop, I am gonna go in with the highlighter that I'm using today, which is my Natasha Denona Super Glow. And I'm just gonna take a little bit on my pinky and put it right on the inner corner. I do like a bright inner corner pop, so I like to have a very like icy inner corner. Like that almost might be too subtle. Hold please. Okay, so my favorite shade for the inner corner pop is actually Vermeer, which is in the ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I just really like my inner corner to stand out. Can you see that? See how it's like just very like icy? Like boom, out there. Like that. Let's get some mascara on. I'm gonna go in first with the Rocket by Maybelline and then Benefit Roller Lash, and then I'll show you what it's looking like. Okay, so here is the finished look. Today was definitely a trust the process kind of day. It started with my eyebrows before I even started filming, but I do think the look came out fine. We have a nice smoky eye. This is look number 2. I am wearing my Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation. I did go in with 2 different bronzers. I'm trying to use up this Hourglass one. This is the Ambient Lighting Bronze. So I went in with that one second. First, I dipped into the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow in the Sculpt shade to kind of sculpt, and then I used the Luminous Bronze, this little mini, to kind of like give me more of a brighter look. For blush, I also wanted to stick with like a deep smoky kind of blush, so I went in with this beauty here by Vieve in Piazza, just very lightly, and I tried something different with my blush. Normally I try to go like on the apples of my cheeks and blend back, but I actually tried to just like hang out on the back end of my face. So I did that, and then I already told you we have the Natasha Denona Super Glow. This is in the shade 01 Fair. And then on my lips, I do have Charlotte Tilbury Iconic Nude. Then I took Charlotte Tilbury Kim KW and kind of focused it in the middle and used my finger to blend it out. And I topped it with Marc Jacobs Sugar Sugar Lip Gloss. I feel like I've been rambling. Hopefully it's not too long when I go to edit, but let's jump into look number 3. Okay. We're here for look number 3 today. I'm gonna start the same way I've started the other 2. I have been using the Sigma Ambiance palette like even before I started filming with it. So I already had some thoughts on it, but I don't know if I just was overthinking my 3 looks. I haven't done a 3 looks video in a while. I don't know what happened, but I didn't love the first 2 looks that I created. I was trying to be very thoughtful, and I was trying to like plan out my looks and make sure that they were very different, and I just didn't love them. So today we're just kind of going with the flow. We're gonna go with whatever my heart desires. I feel like I have an idea, but I'm gonna try not to overthink it, because honestly I have been really enjoying this palette, but then when I created the other 2 looks, I just wasn't in love with it. I didn't think that they necessarily were like horrible, because I know some people are probably like, well, if you weren't proud of them, Kelly, why did you post them? I actually really like when content creators post videos with makeup that they like didn't love or weren't proud of, or that they made a mistake on. I was recently watching one of Allie Glein's videos, and she was talking about how she didn't like her lipstick, her lip lines. She ended up taking the lipstick off and reapplying, and I mean, those are things that you can edit out. So I just really appreciate it when a creator shows that side to them. So I didn't love the two looks. It wasn't anything that the shadows did. I think maybe I was overthinking it. So today, let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna try not to think about it too much, and we're just gonna play with makeup. I do think that I'm going to start with, let's start with Basque. I was gonna go right here with Daylily, but let's just go with Basque because why not? It looks like I haven't really used that one. So we're gonna dip into it. And I kind of have an idea of what I'm gonna do, but I'm not 100% sure. We'll see. It could change along the way. So I thought about doing a halo eye, but again, I'm trying to do something that I'm comfortable with because I want to really have some good thoughts to tell you about this palette. So instead of trying to do a halo eye, I think I'm gonna go into Summer Solstice right here. And I'm using the brush that comes in the palette, the fluffy end. And I'm just gonna kind of put that on this outer part of my eye. I thought a halo eye would be fun, but again, I feel like I just struggled with not loving my first two looks, that I just want to do something that's more in my comfort zone and see how I'm feeling, because I really did enjoy this palette before I actually started filming with it. And now filming with it, I'm like, do I really like it? I don't know, because kind of feels like maybe I don't if I'm not liking any of the looks that I'm creating. Okay, then I am going to go in with my BK Beauty 207, and if you ever want to try BK Beauty products, I do have a link and a code. KBella10 saves you 10% off. The code, I don't get anything. It's not an affiliate code. You just get to save some money. But if you do click the link is an affiliate link, and it's actually through reward style, so I would get a little bit of a kickback or a commission if you click the link. Definitely don't have to. Thank you so much if you do. I greatly appreciate it. I am not monetized yet on YouTube, and that's really something that I'm excited for, that I'm looking forward to. Let me talk while I'm working here. Going in with this one right here, Sunspot. But yeah, that's just a way that you can support not even just my channel, but any creator that you really love. If they have links, sometimes people do have affiliate codes where they earn a commission, or sometimes the creator can get I don't know, product for however many people use their links. So it's always nice to use links and creator codes. It also, my code, I think, is probably just a way for not only you guys to save money, but also for BK Beauty to see how many people I'm bringing to their website. So it's always greatly appreciated anytime you use a creator's code or a link. I personally always try to use creator codes and links, people that I love and admire, just because I know that it really helps out their channel. So thank you so much if you do. Never any pressure. Like I said, my KBella10 code, I don't get anything from. It's literally just a code for you. So if you're not comfortable clicking a referral link or anything, I don't get any of your information, But if you don't feel comfortable, feel free, just go to the website on your own. You can still use that code or any creator code. But I really love BK Beauty brushes. I recently filmed a video and I had a little giveaway. I'm gonna go back in with that Summer Solstice and just kind of blend it out. But I recently filmed a video about if I could only keep 10 brushes, and I talked about BK Beauty in there and my relationship with them and how I got the code and everything like that. So if you wanna hear more about that or just learn about some of my favorite brushes, you can definitely check that out. It was a giveaway, and the giveaway is no longer going on. There is a giveaway winner. I need to mail this package out to her tomorrow. She's been so patient. I contacted her last week and told her that, oh, that's the wrong shade. I went into Summer Solstice and I'm trying to go into Sunspot. I told her that she was the winner like last week, Tuesday. I'm filming this on a Sunday. I don't know when you're gonna see this, but and I just haven't had a chance to send it out to her because my nephew is staying with us right now and he's like doing football camps and stuff, so we've been super busy. And so I messaged her this weekend and I was like, I don't want you to think I forgot about you, but she was like, no, I'm a working mom, like I totally get it. And I was so thankful. I actually think I'm gonna like surprise her with a little extra treat. I don't want to say it in case she's gonna watch. I want her to like be surprised, but just for waiting and being so patient, because you know, like I know winning a giveaway is super exciting and you want to try the products and you already have to wait so long before you can actually hear who the winner is. So I just appreciate her patience and like me trying to get my life together. I am going to go in with that original shade in Basque again, just very lightly. I love blending, y'all. I love blending. I'm already liking the gradient effect that I have with this look more so than the other two. Like the other two looks, I just wasn't loving them. I don't think they were necessarily bad. There's like a little like net in here or something, but I'm already really enjoying this gradient effect. I just need to figure out what lid shade to use. I thought I knew what I was going to use, but I just don't know. And I want to use one that I haven't used already and maybe put like a little topper over it. Let's see. Let me figure out my lid shade. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is go in with this shade Candlelight and keep it on like the middle of my eye. Or maybe like middle and outer half. And then go in with Luster again and put that more on like the inner part because I think it's a little bit lighter. It sounds good in my head. Let's see. I am going to use the brush that comes in here and I am going to spray it with Fix Plus. I always do that. You don't have to. You can use whatever setting spray you have or water. And let's see. I originally thought I was going to put this all over the lid, but it is a bit deep, although it's really pretty. Let's go ahead and do this whole like outer half. It kind of covers up some of the deepness, which I wasn't necessarily trying to do, but that's okay. Can you guys hear my dog snoring? I do not have a microphone that I use when filming, so it's just my camera, and I don't normally let the dogs in my room when I'm filming, just because I feel like if there's something going on outside of the room that we're in, they just cause a ruckus. More so Royce. Bentley's been in some of my older videos. He's my Boston Terrier. He is 10. Okay, now I'm going to flip it over and do that lighter luster shade. But Bentley's the one that's in here with me. Royce, my French Bulldog, she's like a little monster. And she just gets so riled up. But literally, everybody in the house is sleeping right now. Bree's down for a nap. Steve's sleeping. My nephew, I don't even know if he's woken up yet. It's like, oh, this is so pretty. Okay. It's like after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I still have yet to see him. Other than the fact that he's sleeping in our game room on the couch instead of the guest bedroom. And our game room has like French doors so I can see in there, so I can see that he's like literally been sleeping. But you know what? Teenagers sleep a lot, I guess. That's really pretty. Okay, I'm liking this more so than the other looks, the other two looks that I created. Is this anything vastly different? Probably not. But I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Just for fun and out of pure curiosity, because we are winging it today, I'm going to use my finger and take a little bit of Marigold, which is more of a topper. So I'm going to take my pinky finger and just kind of pop it right in the center. Is it doing anything? I don't know. Maybe not, but I just thought it would be fun. This shade is like a little bit more of like a fire shade. I don't really know that it's doing anything, but it makes me feel better that I just used another shade. I feel like maybe it adds some excitement to the look. I don't know. Okay, this part's not gonna be that exciting. I'm just gonna go in with Daylily, the crease shade that I've been using, back to my Sigma pencil brush, and smoke out all of those little creases that I have underneath my eye and hide them. Okay, and then the BK204. Let's go in with this one right here in Summer Solstice and put that just right on the outer half. And I'm going to kind of wiggle the brush back and forth like that. Give it a little bit of an ombre effect. Okay, and here is the finished look, the look that you saw in the intro, that you're going to see in the outro. Quick rundown, that was hard to say, quick rundown of the other products that are on my face. I don't usually do this, but I mixed 2 foundations. The Fenty is in my Project Pan. Armani Luminous Silk I love, but I'm halfway done with it, trying to use those up. Then on the face, I actually wanted to add a little bit more bronzer, but I used my bronzer from the Charlotte Tilbury Film Star Bronze and Glow, and I used my Jouer Adore Me blush. I mixed both of them and just lost the little insert. Y'all know I keep these little plastic inserts. And of course, for highlighter, I did go in with my Natasha Denona Super Glow. And I just thought about, I have no inner corner highlight, so I'm going to use my ABH Modern Renaissance and that Vermeer shade and put that in the inner corner in a second. But on the lips, I do have the Jaclyn Cosmetics lip liner in Chai Tea, the lipstick in Oh Hi, which is the light one, and I used the Buxom White Russian lip gloss. Real quick. Okay, so now that we have created 3 looks with this bad boy, let's go ahead and talk about my thoughts. I'm gonna try and, ooh, I never really do this, bend my mirror back all the way. This was my first Sigma eyeshadow palette. I was super excited about the color story. I really like the fact that they have the color story kind of arranged in quads. So if you are someone who is a beginner or you just don't feel comfortable in eyeshadow, or even if you just want simplicity, okay, like me, you can kind of just work in quads. There are some matte shades that you can use and some shimmer shades, and you just dip into the mattes, you dip into the shimmers. This eyeshadow palette retails for $49 and you get 2 Sigma brushes. I know that it's dual-ended, but I consider that too because you have a crease brush and a lid brush. So essentially, if you wanted to just be very simple and basic like myself, like on the day-to-day, there were times when I only used the brush that came in this palette. I would take the crease brush, dip it into a shade, the lid brush, dip it into a shade that came in a quad, and I would apply it that way. So for convenience, for traveling, super easy. You don't have to think too much with this eyeshadow palette. I think it would be great for beginners. And the fact that for $49 you get an eyeshadow palette and a dual-ended brush, I think that's a really good deal for the money that you're spending. There are also content creators who have affiliate codes with Sigma. I don't remember whose code I used, but I used someone's code, and I even got this for a little bit cheaper. Now you do have to pay for shipping because I did order directly from the Sigma site, but still, you're getting a good amount of shadows and brushes and just the convenience of having a palette if you're traveling or if you're someone who just needs one palette that can be a go-to. You have the easy setup with the quads, you have a brush, you have a mirror in here. I just think that it is a very great deal for the money. Now, if you are someone who isn't a beginner or you really like being creative or you really like having a variety of options, then I don't think that this palette would be for you because you do have the different quads set up and there is a variant. You have a little bit of rosy tones over here. You have some more like I want to say they're like almost berry or red undertones here. Then you have like a brown quad, and then you have a gold quad. So you do have a little bit of variety within each of the quads. I mean, and you can also use them like any way that you want, but you're not going to get a ton of different eye looks. The majority of my looks have looked the same with a little bit of a variance, a little bit of a difference. I don't mind that. I'm looking for a palette that I could use day to day. I don't have to think about, quick and easy for work, and I think that this would be a great go-to palette for me. However, it's not really going to bring out the creativity in me, if you know what I mean. My looks are all gonna kind of look the same, so if this isn't your color story, if you want a large variety of options, then I don't think that this one would be a good one for you. But for me, I do really enjoy it. I know I wasn't in love with my first two looks, but I think that I was like psyching myself out, or I was thinking too hard. I was trying to create three very different looks, and that was very hard to do with this eyeshadow palette. I wanted my looks to be very distinct. I wanted to be different. I wanted to show them versatility in the palette, and I just couldn't do that. I ended up not loving it, and when I did something that was more in my comfort zone and more basic and just more like what I've been doing with the palette, I do enjoy this look so much more. I think the mattes are super blendable. I think the shimmer shades are great. Some of them are more like of a topper shade. So this Firefly, Marigold, well, those two might be the only two that are like real topper shades. Then you have Burnish, Candlelight, Sunflower, Luster, and Midas. Those aren't topper shades, but they don't have a ton of like bam in your face pigment. It's more like a satin or a sheen, which is fine. I definitely prefer that. I really enjoy it. If you do have textured eyelids, you will like something that has more of a satin sheen, but I do think that the lid shades look very nice. They pair well, they work well with the mattes. I could get good pigmentation. And overall, the fallout was very minimal. I did have a little bit of fallout, but it was very minimal. So if you are someone like me who likes to do your face makeup before your eye makeup, I don't think you will have an issue with this. So overall, I am very impressed with this palette. I am glad that I have it in my collection. And if you think that it fits your style, it fits your aesthetic, and it fits what you're looking for, I do think that you would enjoy this palette as well. But that is going to do it for this video. I'm going to try not to ramble too much because I already think this is going to be a little bit of a longer video. But thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy it, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments down below if you picked this one up and your thoughts on it. But otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.